so much for doing this. I love this show so very much. My question is for Katori and for Shannon. One of the biggest oh my God moments was discovering that Derek is a white man.
I know.
And I'm like, is it wrong that the whole time I thought he was of a different color? And it was like, woo. Anyway, point of the question is, as a writer, can you talk about that added layer to the story? And for Shannon, what was it like playing that scene, especially that scene with Diamond and when he starts calling him that gutter N-word, and I was like, oh my God, and it was so great.
Oh my God. It's interesting. So, you know, PValley is based on a play, Pussy Valley. And in the play version, abusive baby daddy was not white. He actually was mixed. That choice was because, you know, Miss Mississippi Keyshawn is a little color struck in regards to wanting to, have light-skinned babies. And I don't even know if it's a conscious thing that she was going through. It's probably subconscious, like it is for quite a few of us, unfortunately, within the Black community. But, you know, there was this need to want to achieve this Eurocentric beauty ideal through her children. And so that's why in the play version, you know, it was what it was. And then I was like, oh, we got a TV show now. We might as well push it all the way there. And, you know, he became white. But it definitely felt like, us trying to explore the relationships between, you know, Black and white folks, especially, you know, this power dynamic of him being who he was and her being a dancer and her having to take care of her entire family through dancing, and how emasculating that might be for any man before a white man who chose to be with this Black woman and was basically, you know, shunned by his entire family. We really just wanted to be within the world of Mississippi and to, you know, really get deep down into that conflict between Black and white folks. My sister, you know, married a white man, so I've always had a kind of front seat to the difficulties, especially down south, when you know, people don't understand, you know, why you love who you love, which, you know, extends to our exploration of, you know, the queer relationships in our story. So like I said, it was really about, you know, pushing it all the way there and trying to get the best bang for our buck in terms of conflict.
Yeah, it was very shocking. I was shocked when I read the script. I'm like, oh, okay. Because you just didn't, you have an idea of what you think this her partner is and what he looks like. And when you see Derek for the first time, it's jarring. What I wasn't prepared for was that people actually found it funny, that there was humor there. I find it very interesting actually, that people have more compassion for Black men when they're getting beaten and brutalized by white men. They have more compassion for Black men getting beaten by white men than they do Black women. They feel that Black women should be able to handle it. And those were the comments that I was getting from people who were criticizing Keyshawn. Oh, you can't handle that Backstreet Boy? You let that Disney Channel character beat you? You know, and to think that a Black woman should be physically capable of being able to defend herself against a white man, but a Black man can't. It's very interesting. Yeah, it was, and Keyshawn being in an interracial relationship adds this other layer there, especially when he does throw that racial slur at Diamond, it just adds like this just punch to your gut. You're like, oh, because you hope that even though it is an abusive relationship, that he isn't racist. And then on top of that, you find out that he's comfortable using that language. Yeah, it's interesting for sure.
And I really think audience members, you know, at the end of season 1, when Keyshawn, you know, basically stops the fight by pointing the, you know, the gun at Diamond and not Derek, her abusive boyfriend. That, I think Shannon can speak to this, but she got a lot of, I would say, hate DMs. It was really, you know, traumatizing, and I think it speaks to what Shannon's talking about. Like, there's this high level of misogynoir, where it's like, they were like, oh, she's, you know, this Black woman, how dare she let that, you know, white man be her, she chose the wrong one. But the thing is, Derek could have been blue, he could have been green, he could have been clear. Like, she was going to, you know, point the gun at Diamond because she's in an abusive relationship, and she instinctively did, you know, made a mistake, but she did what most women in that position would do, which is protect their abuser.
Yeah, and I even got a comment yesterday. Someone who loves the show, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're in this abusive relationship with this white man. And he was like, at least he could have at least have been Black if he was gonna beat you. And I'm like, wait a minute.
How does that even, yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. No matter what color he is, no one deserves beaten. It doesn't make it better or more acceptable if the man who is abusing Keyshawn is of the same ethnicity. It's still wrong, you know?
I think also in playing Uncle Clifford, there's a lot of preconceived notions, and people were able to receive her as this complicated character, and we all are complicated, every single one of us, you know? So having the moniker of Uncle Clifford, but going by pronouns of she and her, and getting people to understand that and grapple with that in their minds has been a journey, but that's a part of life. You know, it's a way to be able to get into the characters more and see their hearts and experience a level of humanity. So I think that cancels out people's negativity and narrow-mindedness.
You know, it turns into one of those things where if you're going to look at the comments or read the reviews, you have to take the good with the bad. And so there's always going to be someone that has a different perspective. And with me playing Little Murder on this show, you know, obviously I received a crazy amount of just negative feedback coming from, you know, just being a heterosexual man playing a character that's still trying to find his identity. So kind of weaving through that, learning how to deal with it. And at the same time, just like Nico said, understanding that it's kind of a narrow mind, kind of just, you know, ignorance to a certain extent, and not saying that in a negative way, but we all can be ignorant towards something and not quite know about it. And so you have to be open to the storytelling. And for those who do come with a perspective that may feel, you know, harsh or negative, you kind of have to open your arms or close your arms and press that block button and erase a comment every now and then if you have to. So it's all part of the game, and it's always going to be like that. I think no matter what show you're on, but PValley, of course, we receive them coming from all angles.